Oh, shocky ducky, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope we're all having a great day today. It is... Wait, what's this? Okay, it is... Tuesday. Oh my god. Tuesday the 14th of March, 2023. How's it going, everyone? Alright. So, I figured since this week, specifically the last 2 days of this week, being Saturday and Sunday, the weekend, hence known as the last 2 days of the week, are going to be rather hectic for me, as I'll be on my way home. It seemed to me that if I was going to get an Archon hunt done at all this week, it would have to be like today. How long has this been here? Can't tell if that's dried coffee or shit. Anyway. So, that's what we're gonna do. What invigorations do I have for this week? Crit chance, sprint speed, melee damage and jump re- Okay, I guess we're playing Harrow today. Oh, god damn it. Hey, Raid, how's it going? Good lordy. Got an equivalent of C4 Zhongli of FGO, so I'm happy. How are you? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. You got the equivalent of C4 Zhongli? Do you mean as in the amount of, do you mean like you managed to get the, essentially, the equivalent of C4 on a character who is exceptionally tanky like Zhongli? Or do you mean you managed to get some sort of a thing that is equivalent to a constellation and it happens to be very similar to how C4 Zhongli actually works? I don't even remember what C4 Zhongli is. Let's have a look. This is the IGN guide on Zhongli. Zhongli is already an Here you go. Zhongli is already an S tier character at C0, so getting more constellations will only improve him. It's not. That's not incorrect. Okay, C1 maximum pillars is 2, C2 your ultimate gives you a shield. C4 increases your ultimate AoE by 20% and increases the duration of the petrification by an additional 2 seconds, which is cool. I don't know how many people actually use C4 to its full extent. I mean, I guess it's not like, oh, I'm going to use C4 to its full extent. It's more like I'm already using the ultimate. I'm already using his meteor. C4 is just going to make his meteor better, but like in such a passive manner that like it doesn't really matter. Like he's just better than cool. And then of course C6, which is the fucking hilarious one for Hu Tao mains, which is whenever you have the shield and you get hit, you heal, which completely screws up Hu Tao. 3 5-star servants, so its ultimate ability is now level 3 out of 5, and I use it to wipe out saber class enemies, so it's fun.
The path to greatness is walked one step at a time.
5-star servants is what they're called. I see. Alright, everyone wants to join me for the dailies. We'll start with our dailies, and then we'll go into the Archon hunt, and then I think after the Archon hunt, if we have some time, which we hopefully do, I would actually like to do some more Void Trace farming. Yeah, so it'd be nice to be able to get some Void Trace farming done as well. Alright, I see you, Raider Rates. There you are. Today I worked overtime again. But unlike yesterday, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling tired from working overtime, but unlike yesterday, I kind of figured, not only did I work overtime, it's Monday, there's not really a whole lot to do in Genshin right now. I don't really want to do my Archon hunt on the Monday, because I figured, well, Shin might want to join us, and he's apparently not available until Tuesdays. And so I was just staring at Lisa. It turns out that I had TV shows that I could be watching, so I now have TV shows that I want to watch too. So, after the stream ends at around 11 o'clock, which is it's right now 9 o'clock, after the stream ends at around about 11, hopefully, if I end it at a normal time, I will then be watching TV shows whilst fucking around in Genshin. That's how my nights usually go. Fuck around in Genshin offline, off stream, whilst watching TV shows. Because I'm getting to that age where I kind of want to just sit there and watch TV shows sometimes, man. Okay. After this, I'll probably sell my ribbons, then hop on FGO to mindlessly farm, or else I'll pass out, or until I pass out or I'm hungry. Now that sounds like a plan. Alright, what do we got? We got capture, assassination, rescue, spy. Okay. Capture, assassination, rescue, spy. I kind of feel like playing someone else right now. I kind of feel like playing Mag right now. When it comes to me and figuring out which Warframe do I want to play today, can't go wrong with Mag. Without a shadow of a doubt, cannot go wrong with Mag. No Daiku Prime Sag. Yeah, it's interesting. Daiku is definitely a weapon that should be getting a Prime, right? Because it is by definition a tenor weapon.
And the enemy calls for a song.
And because it's a tenor weapon by definition, that means it would have been created. Well, that means like it could have been created by the Archon. Or rather, the Prime should probably exist because it would have been created by the Archon then. Of course, lately a lot of the Prime Warframes that come out are basically primes of Warframes that have their own signature weapon. So, for example, Ivara Prime comes out with Baza Prime. I believe Baza came out with Ivara, if memory serves. So naturally with Ivara Prime comes Baza Prime. With the upcoming Hildurin Prime comes friggin' Larkspur Prime. Because Hildurin came out with Larkspur. Larkspur is unironically Hildurin's signature weapon. But not signature in the sense that like we have signature weapons in Genshin. Just signature as in like it's the weapon that what is happening? Signature as in like this is the weapon that we have created to look like it is meant to be used by this particular Warframe. Not that it really matters. It's the same. It doesn't really matter either in Genshin. But in Genshin, where like weapons have weapons don't really change the way you play at all, unlike in Warframe, because weapons don't really change the way you play in Genshin. Signature weapons actually do exist because they are sort of designed, not even designed, they're made to have, they're made and coded rather, to have specific effects that are made with that particular character in mind 99% of the time. But they just have to also work on some other characters. For example, Kagura's works on Lisa. Whereas in Warframe, because weapons end up changing the way you play because they also have like different fire rates, on top of different damage numbers and all that jazz. But like different fire rates, different reload speeds. If they have a lot of impact procs, for example, like especially now, if they have a lot of impact procs, for example, that can change the way you play the game. If you use a heavy impact-based weapon, you can actually maybe play towards your Parazon, for example. If you have a lot of slash procs, then you can play towards just bleeding the shit out of everyone. If you have a lot of puncture procs,
Learn the importance of clarity.
have hands in the air like you just don't care. I use Paris Prime, and that's a heavy puncture weapon. Actually, no. Never mind. Yeah, I guess you can use the puncture procs to reduce enemy damage, but like, I don't know if anyone actually plays towards puncture procs at all. Even now, they don't seem terribly useful, eh? Unless something has changed about puncture procs that I'm unaware of. Unless there's a mod that exists for puncture procs that I'm unaware of. As in, like, for example, we have, oh, fuck, what's it called? Something hemorrhage. Is it a gun mod? It's a 15 energy mod. Eternal Bleeding, that's what it's called. Where your impact status effects have a chance of actually turning into a slash effect. So it's actually less to do with the fact that, oh my god, impact procs so useful. It's more like impact procs at the time, not super duper useful. What we're going to do is we're going to give you an opportunity to turn those impact procs into the better effect, which is slash procs. So that was more of a band-aid, but then they came out with the idea of, okay, if you manage to do a bunch of impact procs, the heavy enemy is going to be much more susceptible to your Parazon, and your Parazon will one-shot them. Which actually makes impact procs pretty damn strong, if you ask me. I just never use them, but when I play like Cernos Prime, for example, Cernos Prime being a heavy impact bow that shoots out a lot of arrows, and actually has a pretty decent status chance, all things considered. Like, if you want to play towards using your Parazon, yeah, Cernos Prime is actually, I would say Cernos Prime is a pretty decent option.
We've seen the last of this dreaded Raptor project, but now the Corpus have escalated their interest and investments. We need to shut them down for good. The new Raptor production facility appears to be entirely underground. A crashed freighter on the surface.
But I think right now puncture procs are kind of going in the way of cold procs, which is they have a use. It's just that use is not useful.
This may be difficult. The production facility is entirely automated. There is no way in without your core frame being torn up in the assembly line. You'll have to figure out how to destroy it from the planet's surface.
I mean, if there happens to be like a freaking puncture main somewhere, I would love to hear their justification for using puncture. What does puncture do that they actually make use of? A lot of puncture weapons do actually have the effect of like flinging enemies into a wall, I think, but I don't know if that's to do with puncture damage itself, or if it just happens to be that like Paris Prime, Voltor, Slash Prime, those weapons just happen to have the what do you call it, the noticeable effect of like flinging people into walls, which can be useful if you want to nail enemies to the wall for like stealth purposes. That is not a bad idea. It's not entirely out of the question. Oh, did that just fall in?
I'm seeing internal damage to their facility. Keep it up.
Let's get out of here.
Heavy robotic signature detected. Lock and load.
Oh.
As you conquer the foe,
It didn't occur to me until like today that because I'm moving home on Saturday, or rather on Sunday, I guess. The New South Wales state election actually happens the week after. So I'm literally arriving home just in time to be voting in the New South Wales state election. So the moment I entered through the door, I need to remember to actually do a change of address and register myself for the election. Otherwise, I may have done something called election avoidance. No, election dodging. That's not what it's called. Point is, I should probably make sure that I sort that shit out. That being said, I'm pretty sure I live in a... Actually, I don't know, state-wise. Do I live in a safe Labour seat or do I live in a safe Green seat? I don't know. I don't even know. It's the city. It's the CBD. Well, I don't know where we are. I don't know where we are politically anyway. Could be Labour, could be Greens. I don't think we're a safe Liberal seat. Fuck, I don't even think we're a Liberal seat point blank. I don't know. Also, voting will be pretty funny in America. In America? This is Australia, mate. Voting is not funny. Voting is compulsory. And like, you know, the thing about the whole compulsory voting thing, right? I understand like the American take, which is like I don't want voting to be compulsory. I want my right to vote to also be my right not to vote. Which it sounds like moronic. What are you doing? Is that actually killing them? Oh, are you spellbinding them? Are you doing this? Are you doing the spellbound sandstorm thing, whereby you keep them up in the air long enough and they just straight up die of cringe? Anyway, as I was saying, like, yeah, I understand like the American hot take of like, I don't want voting to be compulsory. I want there to be a freedom of choice to not vote. I want my right to vote to also be my right not to vote. The founding fathers made the Constitution. Blah 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 blah. We did a whole fucking we did a whole civil war so that and people fought a great big ass civil war in 1776. I don't know. So that people had the right not only to vote, but also to not vote. I understand. But at the same time, it kind of sounds moronic. The thing about compulsory voting, and the reason why it won't work in America, right? The reason why compulsory voting, in my opinion, doesn't work in America is because every time... This is the same with like a lot of things that are discussed in America. Oh, whose Shadow Stalker is this? This is the same thing that... This is the same with like a lot of things that get discussed in America. Is that like, whenever... I find that like whenever America, and to some extent the world, but like in particular in America, because you know, it's such a great big hodgepodge of like cultural shenanigans, right? What I find interesting is that they always, when they're discussing something, they always only ever discuss it in such a shallow manner that the solution, they always try to propose a one-step solution, and then that's it. Like, you take guns, for example, right? You take the issue of guns, for example, right? One side says, oh, we're just gonna... You ban all of the guns. Which could work. But what you also need to do is not just ban all the guns, you also need to, like, spend a whole lot of money and invest in medical care for, you know, for what do you call it? For mental health. You need to invest in a lot of mental health care. You need to invest in a lot of medical care, frankly, which just falls under mental health care falls under as well. Like, you need to do a couple of things, not just get rid of all the guns. You also probably need to also sort of disarm the police to some extent as well. But it's not just as simple as get rid of all the guns, that's it. Because then people will look at it and be like, but I don't want to get rid of all of my guns. Well, you don't even do that either. You do like a whole ass... You do what we do in Australia, which is like you do a whole ass freaking like licensing system and what do you call it? Clubs. If you're part of a club, then you can get the license easier. If you want to just shoot recreationally, then you go to a shooting range, a registered licensed shooting range that is licensed and registered, and there's background checks and all sorts of shit that goes on. You know, like, we have all sorts of things so that it's not just, oh, you don't have any guns anymore. It's, oh, you don't have any guns, but if you want a gun, here are the steps that you need to take in order to go and get yourself a gun. There are some people who actually have them. Hey, Shen has a Stalker. I don't know if Stalker got ignored. Like, point is, it's not just one thing that is the solution, it's a bunch of things. The thing about we just go to our backyards to shoot. Well, there's that too. And some people actually do. Some people in Australia, I think, can actually just go to their backyards and shoot as well. It's especially when it comes to the countryside of, especially when it comes to like the countryside of Australia, like country New South Wales, country Queensland. You know, as long as you're registered and you've got yourself a gun license somehow, which is not entirely impossible in Australia. It's just that like we have enough things that go on that not that many people really give a shit, especially if you live in the city. Everyone in the city doesn't give a shit about the need to have a gun, so we don't bother. But if you go to like the countryside, it is not entirely out of, like, I would not be surprised if you come across a few people who have gun licenses, right? And then they have guns, like rifles and shotguns and shit. Why? Because they need to like shoot kangaroos that are trying to like break their fucking fences, for example. Or like there's wolves. I don't know if we have wolves. Dingoes. We've got dingoes that are going to eat your fucking sheep. Or you gotta shoot that motherfucker, right? Because he's gonna eat your sheep. So, you know, some people have guns. There are people who have guns in Australia. It is what it is, right? But we go through that whole thing so that we don't have school shootings. And you know, we don't give a shit. Anyway, compulsory voting in America will never be a thing until, number one, they move voting day to a Tuesday. Oh, sorry, they need to move voting day from Tuesday to like a weekend. The fact that voting is done on a Tuesday in America is fucking moronic. And then they turn around and they're like, well, we want to make voting compulsory, but it's just so incredibly unpopular, so we're not going to do that. And I'm like, well, no shit, Sherlock, you put it on a Tuesday. What do people do on a Tuesday? They go to work. I go to work on a Tuesday. If I was to take an hour out of work to line up, and then that line ends up going for the next 3 hours, I'm not gonna go. If it's not compulsory, I'm not gonna fucking go. You know they don't make online voting easy because then the youth will vote a certain way. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. A certain side of US politics is super duper uber against on mail-in voting, online voting. Fuck, moving the voting day from a Tuesday to like a weekend. Why? Because there's a lot of people who are relatively underprivileged, whether it be racially or whether it just be through their class, whether it be from a class perspective, or whether it be from a race perspective, or whether it be, no, mainly class or race perspective. Like, they just happen to, you know, be working on Tuesdays. And it's not even, like, people who are, like, not that well... It's not even just necessarily people who are not well off. It's also people who are well off. Like, I would not consider myself not super duper well off. I would consider myself doing alright. And even I wouldn't be able to vote on a Tuesday. Why? Because I have work. Because I work full-time. You know? Anyone who works full-time Monday to Friday, 40-hour week, 38-hour plus lunch, I don't know. Anyone who works a 38-hour or 40-hour week, you're not voting on a Tuesday. Why? Because you're working. You're at work on a Tuesday. That's the deal. And yet for some reason, some schmucks in America really... You got the illusion that you're well off? Yeah, because I can't work... Yeah, you're right. But like, no. Like, the reality is... You can't... If you make voting compulsory... If you make voting compulsory, but keep voting on a Tuesday, well then you're just gonna end up being... You're just gonna end with a lot of people who get fines. And what's even worse is... The reality... And the worst part is... In an attempt to get more people to vote, you're actually making the underprivileged and less well-off people end up getting more persecuted because they are unable to vote on a Tuesday. On a fucking Tuesday. So you gotta do like a few things. Number one, in America, if you want to make voting compulsory, which I think could very well be something that they should do, because holy hell, man, like whenever an election comes out, especially midterm elections, like what's the voting rate? What's the voting rate? Like 38% or something like that? Like less than half the people in the country vote for the people who are supposed to lead their country. Like how do you classify that as a democracy? This Wednesday, aside from Hildren Prime, is the Dutch day of voting. Why? That's my question. Why? See, in Australia, we vote on a Saturday. And not just that, we go one step further. You know what we do? We have a fucking barbecue most of the time. We have a fucking barbecue on Saturdays at the voting places. So you can get yourself a fucking sausage sizzle. So you can get yourself a sausage, like a little hot dog. We call it a sausage sizzle. A sausage, a barbecue sausage on a piece of bread with some onion on it for $2. And especially if your voting place is like a school, that $2 basically goes towards making the school better. Like the funds basically go to the school to help out with like maybe like better school equipment, better sports equipment, shit like that, right? But the main takeaway is, while you're waiting to vote, which can take a while, like it takes a while to get through the line to vote usually, you can eat something. You know, you can eat something. But what do they have in America? They don't have that. Imagine that, they don't have that. Instead, what do? They have lines that go on for 5 hours straight because they have next to no fucking polling booths. Game froze. Uh-oh. Oh, is that why the alarm is going off? That's fine. We only need 2 of them anyway. Two viewers, 3 viewers.
Will have to suffice. Get to it.
Allegedly. You, Shin, and Raider Raids. But yeah, like, I think that if the Netherlands vote on a Wednesday, I would argue that the Netherlands should also move it to a Saturday. Because that's what we do in Australia. We vote on a Saturday. Which most of the... Now, granted, Saturdays can be pretty scuffed for some people. Especially if you're younger and you're working like part-time, you're doing the weekend shift. Yeah. Saturday voting can be scuffed for you. Hopefully you're not hopefully you're not working like all day Saturday, but some people do work all day Saturday because how about multiple days? Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't see a reason why there shouldn't be multiple days. Especially when you look at like the recent, it's not like you can get a vaccine on a single day. Well, I get 1 dose of a vaccine on a specific day, and that day is like figured out, and then boosters, I mean like Corona for example, right? The COVID vaccine, I got my vaccine on a single day, but then I did get boosters and second doses like a month later, and then like half a year later and shit like that. Anyway, but like, I think the better example, right? You look at like the recent, not the recent, you look at the last US presidential election. Defense? Nah, fuck that. You look at the last like presidential election for America. Yeah, everyone voted on one day, but it took them multiple days to actually figure out the fucking results. If it takes you multiple days to figure out the results because of mail-in voting, because the mail-ins like come in like a day later or something like that, okay, fuck it. Just give the populace like, give the population like a week. Just fucking give the population a week to vote. Just fuck, man. In Australia, because it's compulsory to vote, I I want to say that anyone who was working on the Saturday, can absolutely like figure it out with their managers and be like, yeah, I'm gonna come in a bit later because I'm gonna go and vote first, or like I'm gonna leave a little earlier so I can go and vote. I hope, but I don't remember because I haven't worked on a Saturday in a long time, and I certainly haven't worked on a Saturday for an entire day in a very long time, so I don't quite remember, and I don't think I've ever done it on a Saturday where there was an election, so I don't think I quite know what happens. If someone does, feel free to let me know what happens. American voting is so corrupt, even with the cheating, Trump lost. Yeah, true, brother. Just make it digital so darn easy. I do kind of understand the pushback behind digital voting, because digital voting, there is that one thing where it's like, it can get hacked. I guess it can get hacked. Cause like, shit gets hacked all the time. It wouldn't, like, I do understand that pushback. I think in the end, it's probably going to be something that happens. Like like with that concern in mind, I do think oh Shin, do you want to join us for the Archon hunt, by the way? I think in the end, that will be the future, being able to vote digitally, because I do think that would be great to be able to vote from the comfort of your own home. You merely have to log in. They'll just need to figure out the infrastructure and the security behind it. But once that's figured out, you know, and it's not like, you know, they literally send me a letter with the voting thing, so they already have the data. Yeah. No, I mean, like, people might hack in and try and change your votes. But at the same time, I mean, fuck, if you're sending a vote via the mail, I would argue that's even less secure than, like, some sort of online infrastructure with, like, the proper security channels and whatever the fuck whatever the hell is needed to make it all, like, legit. And then, on top of that, like, once again, as always, like, how often is there, like, fucking voter... how often is there, like, voter fraud? Like, yeah, there's a bit of voter fraud, but not a fucking lot. Never enough to swing an election. That's usually what ends up happening. Play some Payday 2 election day to stealth hack the voting machines. Wait, what? Anyway, I think before we even talk about, like, digital voting in America in particular, but also I would argue in the Netherlands as well, put it on a fucking weekend, you schmuck. Put it on a fucking weekend. Make sure that anyone who's working on the weekend can still vote with relative ease, even if that means mail-in, whatever, you know. And you know, do a barbecue. Do a barbecue, you jackasses. Like, imagine this. You live in Florida. And you go to vote. And while you're waiting to vote, for $2, you can get a slice of gator. Fresh gator meat. As if you would not want to as if you do not want to be a part of that. And that gator meat that you just bought, those proceeds, go to the local school.
Is almost out of time. Hurry.
The local school or the local church or something, I don't know.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit of
It was marked for the phrase 3 ways.
done. Go.
AKA 3-way, AKA threesome. Yeah, Twitch auto mod is horny. It's feeling very horny today. Give me a sec. I'll unban it. By the way, don't go into Last Gasp and Archon missions. Why? I've been doing Last Gasp for like the longest time.
I knew you would come. Thank you.
Bite my head clean off, Mother. That's where the good meat is. Suck the guts until the little legs kick.
Don't suppose you have an extra gun?
Target is
Last Gasp's frame begins 2 seconds earlier with each use.
still remains inside.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely don't want to be.
Bring it to the surface.
I definitely don't want to be using it too often. That's for sure. But I mean, alternatively, just don't die forehead. But like, yeah, no, no, you're right. I do try not to use it that often. The reality is I'm going to end up using it anyway. You always use it for fun? I just use it, no, I use it out of habit. It's not even for fun necessarily. I just use it out of habit. Yeah, and certainly in Last Gasp, if I use it too often, I just die instantly. That is true. So playing like co-op Archon hunts, there is like at least a what's the word I'm looking for? There's like an upside, which is that like if I can't use Last Gasp, I can at least try to rely on raider rates to try and revive me. But yeah.
Keep the specialist alive. Their wideband scans should reveal Narmer's purpose in this sector.
And what of your purpose, Natar? Were you sired only to be wet nurse to these?
Alright, Chipper, let's do this.
Which
Speaking of Chipper,
needs to save the other?
Carl!
Was it you, did they? Righto. This'll be fun.
Oh, I should have brought Citrin.
For incoming support.
Do. Free source Citrin only works with warframes? No? I did an entire video on how Citrin's prismatic gem also works with, summons and shit. Or was that... did that get nerfed out? Last I checked, that's still a thing. Preserving... oh, I'm not talking about preserving shell. I'm talking about the ability to just let my gem shoot even more beams and thus coat even more enemies in elements and also do more damage. I haven't really had a look at like how much damage is done, but like certainly I don't know, just
Take a turn for the
I feel like that does a lot of damage. Am I wrong? Well, not a lot of damage. It does enough. Not a lot. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It just does enough. Magnetic Toxic Sandstorm. I thought Magnetic Toxic Sandstorm would do more. It should. Well, I mean, keep in mind, right? First off, like, Toxin is not going to really do a whole lot. Because these enemies are going to have a lot of health. Like, Toxin's going to... The thing about Toxin, I feel like a lot of people sometimes overvalue Toxin. Maybe. I could be wrong, but, like, I feel like Toxin is sometimes a little bit overvalued. Because, like, oh yeah, cool, you can bypass shields. Except they have a lot of health. So, the fuck are you going to do about that? Right? So, what the fuck are you going to do about all that health? If you're building just like, let's say you're building a Toxin weapon. Let's say you're building Toxin on a weapon. That basically means one less 60-60 mod that you can use. Otherwise you start turning it into viral, or corrosive, or gas. And gas doesn't do shit anymore. Last I checked. It's not super duper special. Maybe it has quadratic scaling, I don't know. Does gas have quadratic scaling or nah? Anyway, you don't really have, like, you have one less 60-60 mod to use in your weapon on your weapon. You have one less 90% mod to use on your weapon as well. So you can only build, like, the Toxin mods, otherwise your build suddenly goes from being Toxin to something else. Magnetic? Yeah, it's not going to do a whole lot against armor. But you better hope to hell that the enemy that you're playing against, that you're fighting against, doesn't have both shields and armor. If it's just shields and health, which is most of the Corpus army, then you can build Magnetic. You'll do well against the shields, which means the shields kind of become meaningless. And then you'll have a weapon that by definition does more damage. Because you have at least, like, more mods giving you more damage because you're doing Magnetic. Now, that being said, one thing that I might be forgetting is whether or not Toxin has a multiplier on Corpus enemies. Aside from the old bypassing shields. That I don't really know. I'm not 100% sure. The thing about Toxin as well is that, like, if Toxin was able to go bypass shields and you didn't, and you could also build viral on the weapon, then yeah, no, that at that point, if you could somehow build a weapon that has Toxin and viral, which I think you might be able to do with the staff. No, you can't do it with the Staff of Omdil. I think you need an innate viral weapon of some description, and then you'll put Toxin on it. But I think, and I may be wrong here, but I think the innate Toxin, the innate viral weapons in this game also innately don't have that much base damage. So, like, even if you have, like, a bunch of Toxin procs, those Toxin procs are not going to do a whole lot of damage. Still not approved? Oh, fucking move on, Savage. Like, yeah, you could use your viral procs to, like, increase the amount of damage that the Toxin procs do. But the Toxin procs are not doing a whole lot of damage, are they?
Now are you?
Oh, man, working overtime sucks sometimes. Not well off? Yeah, true. I guess it depends on, like, how we want to define well off. Rich people don't do overtime? Yeah, rich people do other rich people instead. Yeah, no, that's true. I'm not rich at all. Otherwise, I would not be working full time. I mean, that being said, I don't know, like, I'm just thinking, like, if I was rich, right, if I had enough money to not have to work a day in my life, what the fuck would I be doing? I will probably be one of those fucking grifter YouTubers. Can you imagine? You're rich, so what do you want to do? You want to just grift like crazy. Be like, I'm going to tell you 25 awesome stock tips. Sorry, I'm going to tell you 25 different Lisa sculpting. Yeah, true. I'm going to give you 55 different amazing, like, amazing tips to getting rich. Number 1, buy a house. And you're like, and people will look at that. Hey, Kennesaw, how's it going? People got to look at my video, right? 50 different ways to get rich. Number 1, buy a house. And the first thing they're going to say is, with what money?
What they are
Your hot tip for getting rich is to buy a house. Oh, that's great. Where am I going to get the money for the house, schmuck? Hobbies and turning that hobby into profit. Who knows? Actually innovating, you don't have to spend all your time to survive. Yeah, that is true. That's true. Or I could just, you know, bribe politicians into doing my bidding. Fuck it. This is an Archon hunt. I'm skipping yellows and blues. Yeah, this is an Archon hunt. I don't remember what we're going for. I think we might be going for blues. Why are you skipping yellows? Blues I understand. Yellows on the other hand. I never skip Carl. Can't get enough shards, I need them all. I haven't played a Carl mission in a while. I just don't do them anymore. They're fun, I just don't have the time and energy for them. Don't yellows just give orb effectiveness? Casting speed, hello? I'm pretty sure the orb effectiveness is the blue one, isn't it? I do skip red from Chipper, usually short on yellows and blues. I'm just short on Tau Forged. At this point. That's what I'm short on. Fucking Tau Forged.
Them, yours, and I shall serve as shepherd and minister.
Oh, yeah. With 3 one-handed skills. Okay. As soon as I read 3 one-handed skills, my mind went somewhere very weirdly. You can't use the term one-handed and mag in the same sentence. You just can't. Because otherwise people's minds, in particular mine, just suddenly go into a very strange direction. Anyway, with 3 one-handed skills, I feel mag doesn't really need the casting speed. I disagree. Casting speed, always good. Sometimes I just feel like... Sometimes I just need to be able to, like, get things done ASAP. And I'm always casting my abilities. You know? And it does flow. It does... Okay. It's a feels argument, but it does feel better playing mag with a whole heap of casting speed. It does feel better.
Scans, yeah. Scans.
I'm always shooting while casting. Oh, well, I always use a bow, so I don't really get to shoot while casting. for yeah, I suppose if you're using like a rifle or or an SMG, we don't have. I don't know. We don't exactly have SMGs. Closest we have is like fucking Baza. You get your pull while aiming and shooting a bow. Yeah, but I can do that even faster. Bottom line is, the main takeaway is just that it just, in my opinion, as a mag main, it just feels better. It just flows better. You don't really need to use the... Yeah, I suppose from like a pure gameplay perspective, you don't need casting speed on mag. Not anymore, now that Crush doesn't take like 5 years to cast. You can cast Magnetize before loosing the arrow. Yeah, true. But like, you know, just faster, like... I guess also for me anyway, like I have, what do I have, like two Archon shards on casting speed, I think. What the hell would I replace them with? Is the big question on my mind. I wouldn't replace them with shields. I am not really bothering to replace them with like energy max. That is. Like, I don't know. For me, it's like, not only is casting speed like always a good choice, but then on top of that, I don't feel like I have any alternatives that I would really bother to use, with the possible exception of like weapon status chance, mainly because I still would like to counteract the status chance nerf on my Riven. But yeah, Mag is a caster. Mag is a caster. A slow caster is a novice, a fast caster, skipping the incantation is a fucking wizard. Yeah, and then an instant caster who doesn't have to say anything is like actual god. Like, would you want to be Harry Potter or would you want to be Dumbledore? Would you, and then on top of that, would you rather be Dumbledore in the Harry Potter series, or would you rather be Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts series? And then on top of that, would you rather be Dumbledore or fucking Grindelwald? You know? Like, at some point when your casting speed is so ludicrously fast, you kind of stop being the boy who lived and start being the man who damn near took over the entire goddamn wizarding community. Speaking of that, I really want to... I should probably get around to playing more Hogwarts Legacy, because damn, that game is fun. I plan to give a 50% duration. My man. Based duration mag players, man. We are, in my opinion, few and somewhat far between. Can't wait for the Switch version. It's going to be a disaster or a miracle port. Yeah, I have no idea how it's going to turn out on... I have no idea. Considering that it's like kind of a bit laggy on my laptop, but then again it's my laptop. But then again, my laptop is pretty strong. Like, Warframe is actually running extremely... I just realized Warframe is actually running really, really smoothly today. No lag, no nothing. It might be 45 frames a second right now, but it feels like 60.
Now they're just taking it personal.
Like, I don't even know. Let me have a look. I'll crack out the FPS meter and find out. Show FPS. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have turned on the FPS meter because now it's actually showing... Because now it feels laggier. Now that I know that the game is actually running at 28. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off. Either that or my FPS meter is actually lagging the game. Damn it, maybe I shouldn't have turned it on because now I can feel it! Probably should have just let the placebo go. Yeah, Warframe, the fact that Warframe can even run on Switch is a miracle. And then, like, the fact that it can apparently run on Switch good enough that even Shin's saying like, yeah, it's actually not too bad. That's when you know that the port is actually pretty decent. Like, the game is running on 30, but it doesn't really... But, like, from what I've heard, like, nobody really cares. Obviously, if your game is running on 30 on your PC, then something's wrong. And for me, that something is, I'm streaming! And so naturally, Ops is the one that, like, takes a lot of my resources. The motion blur helps a lot, yeah. 300% Larkspur and Sandstorm status build. Jesus Christ.
I think she's just about good, matey. Scan's coming along nicely. Just give it another minute, I reckon.
Just give it another minute, I reckon? Okay. She'll be right, mate. She'll be right. I do love that, like... I do love that Chipper is aggressively Australian. I am just surprised that he doesn't say, like, oh, Scan's coming on pretty nicely. Maybe give it a minute. Maybe give it another minute. Yeah, she'll be right, mate. She'll be right. We get this scan done. Go grab something to drink from the bottle, oh mate. Stubbies and Singlet party, let's go. Lately I've been running mag on a Boreal Aviator set. Oh yeah? I haven't even thought about the Boreal Aviator set, like, at all. Man, there's... Yep. Maybe there are things that I can talk about in... I always... Every weekend I'm thinking, like, damn, is there anything I can talk about in Warframe? I just want to talk about Warframe, fuck. But then, like, I can't really think of anything to talk about that is even, like, mildly interesting. Maybe if I start using the fucking Boreal Aviator set, I would actually have something to talk about! We're waiting for Deviri. Because obviously when Deviri drops, first thing, don't forget Tractor Beam Mower if you do that, which you still haven't farmed. Oh yeah, true. I don't have Tractor Beam Mower. I think right now, like, A, I'm working full time, B, I'm playing Genshin a lot, C, also playing Holocaust Legacy as well. D, I'm playing Destiny, a surprising amount as well. But I think the big thing as well is I'm just waiting for the goddamn Incarnants to come out. I just want to start playing Paris Prime Incarnate when your bow gets even more overpowered. What are you gonna do about that, eh? Well, 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 if it isn't friggin' Inaros Prime, the first and, dare I say, only Warframe in this entire defense mission to actually end up in a death state. Why Paris Prime over Cernos Prime? Oh, okay. Not only anymore. But hey, I didn't need anyone to revive my ass. Anyway, why Paris Prime over Cernos Prime? Okay, I'm gonna put that on the main channel. That was way too funny. The reason why I go Paris Prime over Cernos Prime is because my Paris Ribbon is it just turns my Paris Prime into a weapon that seems to be significantly more powerful than my Cernos Prime. Seems. It's entirely possible that my Cernos Prime is actually stronger than my Paris Prime. But yeah. I mean, let's have a look at my Sonos ribbon. I don't even remember what it is. There's like, I'm pretty sure it has like one negative that kind of just pisses me off. Oh yeah, that's right. Projectile flight speed. Oh yeah, no, my Sonos ribbon is fantastic. Except my arrows don't fucking fly. That's why.
I have not taken.
It's either don't use a ribbon, in which case... okay. It's either don't use the ribbon, or I use the ribbon. My Sonos Prime might end up being stronger than my Paris Prime, but my arrows don't fly at all. I just want to play the roguelike mode. Rewards would be interesting, but I hope they stretch it out so much that I can replay that mode again and again. True. Some weapons don't feel that negative flight speed, like Detron. Yeah. Yeah. Weapons that are hit scan don't... Well, Detron's not hit scan, but... Weapons that are hit scan also don't give a shit about projectile flight speed because they literally don't even have projectiles to begin with. It's hit scan. But a bow is a bow! It's a bow! Negative flight speed on a bow is an absolute travesty.
Destroy all they consider makers. Archon Naira will be at the forefront of the slaughter.
It's basically like when you're firing the heaviest arrows in the universe. Yeah, your arrows are going to do a lot of damage, but because they're so friggin' heavy duty, they don't fly. It's like I've accidentally made my arrows so heavy. Leviathan's Breath moment. At least Leviathan's Breath's friggin' arrows actually fly. The thing about Leviathan's Breath is that it has a long ass draw time. What is your secondary anyway? I never see you pull it out. It's well, it's called the Light of 1,000 Stars. It's the Synoid Gamma Core. And it doesn't matter what secondary I use. I never pull out secondaries anyway. It's not even like, oh, you just why are you using the Synoid Gamma Core if you never use it? It's more like, why? That's it. That's the question. Do you have Rolling Guard? Not on Mag, no. I have a Rolling Guard. I can use Rolling Guard whenever I want. It's just that on Mag, I never want to use Rolling Guard. It's just that you were flipping a lot back there. Yeah, because I've been playing this game for 10 years. That's less to do with like, oh, you're using Rolling Guard. That's more like 10 years of force of habit.
Naira and her kin were doubly abandoned.
You know, that's my 10 years of force of habit. Doesn't matter what Warframe I play, with the possible exception of like, Why am I so significantly out of energy? Oh. Now I understand why. My freaking cat died. Sorry, just getting my energy. But yeah, this is like literally just my force of habit gameplay loop. Equilibrium mag? Hell yeah. Equilibrium, synth, fiber, synth, deconstruct. Jesus, good grief, man. What the? Where am I supposed to go? Oh, up. Get out of here. On Boreal said, I just fly kick through Corpus. Tar said it's really relaxing. What the hell? Oh, we're back here. Where the hell's Naira? Oof. Nice.
You dealt with Archon Naira expertly, Tenno. Her kind we expect no mercy, no protection.
Are the shards affected by power strength duration? No. The shards are their own thing. Yeah, the shards are completely their own thing. They're unaffected by your build. And they just add on top of what your build already is. So, if you have like a 10%, I think it's 10%? If you have like a plus 10% power strength on one of your shards, Tower Forged? Hey, there we go. And 12k Kuva. Ooh. Got him, boys. Got him. Another 37.5% casting speed. Yeah, true. True. Alright, I want to do... What time is it? 10:20. Okay, I want to spend the next half hour. The last half hour remaining. To do some void trace farming, so if anyone wants to join me for that. Red Race, if you want to stick around, feel free. I mean, is it worth it for me to swap out my Amber Shard for a Tau Forged to get a whopping 12.5% additional casting speed? Remove a red? Yeah, remove a red. Go for friggin... I think... I like the idea, Shin. But I think you know as well as I do. Yeah, casting speed is awesome. But there does reach a point where it just becomes... excessive. You don't even have you don't even do status? I do! Hey, no. I've explained it before and I'll explain it again. My primary status chance mod, my primary status chance thing... Wait, what? Wait. Did Visage Bile get nerfed? Huh? What the fuck? Wait. No. Did Visage Bile get nerfed? Why? Someone messed up the text files? Fucking hope so. Because it makes no sense why Massage Bar will get nerfed. It was on Reddit somewhere? Oh, I hope D can fix it.
Operator, the system needs you. Will you begin another mission?
Hmm. Okay. Anyway. 23% status chance. Yeah. Yeah, did this mod lose the healing ability? Yeah, no shot, right? Yeah, seemed weird to me. Check for the buff icon when you fire. Also, the raw lost can't be. Also, raw augment lost can be reset. Don't know why it doesn't show here. Wiki doesn't mention any changes. Check in the mission if it does. Barra's right, but apparently too strong. It works, but it doesn't show on the mod. Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird one. Hopefully D can fix it. Anyway, that's the reason why I wanna try and get as much status chance as I can. Like, not all of a sudden. Like, the main reason is because my Paris Riven has a status chance nerf. Right? It's negative 95%. Visage Brawl is 90%. So that's why I'm right now running what is it? A red? A crimson? Yeah, that's why I'm running like a 10% ability duration, so that it's 100% minus 95%, which is 5%. So I've got 5% additional. No, that's not right. Sorry, it's 120. It's 100. Wait. Let me do that correctly. It's 115% minus 95%, which is like 20% status chance. And then there's 20% of 20% base status chance, which is like 4 or 5. Point is, I am trying to get like some status chance back, which is why I'm a little bit excited for one of the potential, assuming the leaks are real, one of the potential like things is that I might get a bunch of flat status chance, and if that's the case, then suddenly everything's gonna be hunky-dory. Heal 300 HP every 4 shots. No, that's not correct. You need to do 3 status effects in order to heal 300 HP. So it's not even 300 HP every 4 shots. Technically, it's 300 HP every 12 shots. But then, multi-hits count. So if I stick a magnetized bubble and I shoot 1 arrow, and that arrow hits like everyone, hopefully it does more than 3 status procs on 3 different people, and that'll also give me the heal. I only need the heal like every so often. So yeah. Okay, did you do the hunt? We just finished it, and I got a Tau Forged Yellow. A Tau Forged Amber. And so I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it. I might put it on Citrin. Yeah, I might put it on Citrin. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on Citrin.
Operator, no! Have you lost your mind?
Parkour velocity, follow me into this into the rolling across the map side. Make Hydroid great. Hydroid is fine. He's fine. He's not. Yeah, he's fine. Alright, all of this for 12.5% more casting speed. Let's go! Let's go! 12.5% more casting speed! Woo! Alright. Void Trace Farm. Alright, let's do this. Power overwhelming indeed. True. True and real. Let's go Root of Nightmares. I still need to actually like get my fucking light level up or power level up. Wizard Gruesome Stubble, yeah, true. There's a mobile defense. That's probably better. Or the Exterminate. Nah, I think mobile defense is... Especially if I'm playing fucking Citrin, mobile defense is just... Oh, it's a Neo one though. Fucking whatever. Alright, just crack a radiant, I guess, and we'll try and get as many void traces as we can. One sec. Okay. One sec. My Corvus Riven got nerfed? Wait, what? How? Did Corvus get what do you call it? Oh crap, what do you call it? Disposition nerf?
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths, and I with your victory.
One sec.
Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have a matching relic?
You just... Okay, here we go. I bought the Core Prime Neuroptics. Oh yeah?
A fissure. Defend yourself.
It lost about 10% damage?
Relics.
Is that because Corvus is actually pretty decent as is, and D just realized, oh, the disposition was a little bit too high? In other words, you're just basically struggling from success?
Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. The enemies are dropping reactant. The reactant is working on your relic. Find more.
Okay, maybe I'm coping big time. Or maybe it's just like the super duper placebo effect. But like the 12.5% casting speed, I think is making a difference. Either that or I'm just remembering to use Matter-Eye. It always makes a difference? Yeah, true. That's why we stick as much as possible? Yeah, true. I mean, look at the amount of damage that I'm getting out of this Arctic Exami. Like, is that all... Is that all gem damage, or is that like something else? I don't know.
Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare to defend.
You know, like, you tell me.
I'm in, Tenno.
That wasn't too bad.
This will take
The main thing as well is that it just coats enemies it just coats enemies in a bunch of elements, so that's also helpful. Savage, which one is control? How does that... Is that like basically King of the Hill? Can Jesse stop inner monologue? Oh, the game control, right.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Ability range and... Oh god.
Relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside. We are finished here. Move on.
I mean, look at it this way. At least your main character in this game actually says something, as opposed to, you know, the main character in fucking Genshin who says nothing. I'm glad to say I'm one of those Cithrans who hasn't put any helmet abilities on her. I don't think you need to put helmet abilities on her. Like, she's one of those warfares where every single ability is useful. I don't even know which one I would get rid of.
Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
Where the hell's Torment? So many YouTubers said her crystal is trash.
Focused. There's a heavy
I
unit approaching.
don't... yeah, that sounds weird to me. The crystal seems really, really useful.
Still working on it. Continue.
Being able to just like automatically provide all four single elementals like that in an easy to use ability. They're like, look at it, man. Just freaking like deletes this dude, man. TB Thang PCB Strong AAA Games a legendary says hello. Hello. You're from Vietnam. Ah, welcome. That is one hell of a name. Have you considered shortening it by any chance? Only because it's slow at applying status, it only does one enemy at a time? Not true. Right now, it does 2.5 enemies, allegedly. But then, on top of that, you know, you have Carl and Co. So, like, that's not even true. I'm talking about TB Thang. I'm talking about, like, your entire name. Your entire name is like an essay. Have you considered shortening it? It's just a thought. You don't have to if you don't want to. Yeah, I've been trying to actually do that friggin' Nightfall Savage, and so far, I have not been able to like randomly load into a team that actually that could actually complete it in some meaningful capacity.
Your will was greater. This is good.
Then again, I'm only 17, like 58 power level, so maybe I'm the one who's dragging them down. And what I'm actually needing, very fun GM. It's not fucking GM, it's just knife form. It's just regular knife form. We can't even complete it in some meaningful capacity. Yet. Of course, every time I try to complete it, it's in the morning, and then just as we're about to complete it, I'm like, wait, hold on. I've gotta go to work. Shit. People doing GMs for those 3 battlegrounds? Worse than Season of the Chosen. Yeah, no, I agree. GMs on battlegrounds doesn't sound all that good. I mean, at least you don't have fucking darkness zones where, like, if you all die you have to restart the thing. I think, I don't know. I hope Larkspur Prime will have some power to compete with the Cortege. Considering that if it's going to be anything like the Larkspur Regular, right? If it's going to be anything like the Larkspur Regular where it's like a... Correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to be like a very status-based weapon. Status-based weapons are like... pretty good, aren't they? Especially the Larkspur that's got fucking auto-targeting. And then on top of that, you kind of can just coat enemies in all of the status effects. No, arc status is Kaka. Oh, right, yeah, because arc guns don't have those kinds of status mods that actually make status pretty good, eh? Yeah, no, fair enough. I don't have any radiance, so we're not gonna do Axie then.
Operator, did you hear that? It said cosmic background.
Ooh, we can do Meso. We can do Mesos nice and fast. Oh. I'm using Sonos. Well, that's unexpected. I have 12k Kuva. Well, I just got 12k Kuva. Let me see if I can roll this. I was mildly curious about using that ribbon, not gonna lie. Radiation and Grenier. Not entirely out of the question. Actually, that heat electric mod plus Grenier, that might actually be pretty good because I could potentially run gas electricity. And then because it's like Grenier, that shit will like double dip. Cope is all hell, but still. Alright, I'm out of Kuva anyway, so good timing. Oh, I think the reason why I don't really notice the negative flight speed on my Sonos Prime right now is because I'm running terminal velocity. Larkspur status isn't good enough to reliably proc viral and heat. Larkspur has and can reach 200% status chat, so it can proc radiation viral, but he comes every 2 ticks from what I've seen. I can't, I'm not going to weigh in on this particular conversation because I haven't used the Larkspur in a very long time. Very long time. Because to me, it's like, I could use Larkspur, but I like Moslin better. Moslin just feels better.
Each enemy is more powerful than before. Only with true mastery of the Tenno arsenal will you succeed.
There are void fissures in the area. Use these to crack open a relic. You found a fissure.
They're proccing more radiation and viral than heat. Well, that's probably for the best, because last I checked,
Keep fighting. Look for more reactant.
last I checked, heat stacks don't exactly
Stay focused.
like reduce enemy armor by any further, no?
Tenno,
The thing about heat is just that like
security
it's a one and done element, isn't it?
rather destroy their
You only need one stack and then you're pretty much good to go. You want heat more than anything. Really? Are you actually relying on heat damage over time? Would have thought that, like, if given the choice between more viral or more heat, I would have gone for more viral. Heat carries the Phantasma? Really? Okay.
You are surrounded by Grenier Marines.
What the? Mara, it took you this long to actually get in? Oh, you DC'd. Oh, okay, I see. My bad.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
Cortege is a flamethrower Archon, right? No, isn't Cortege like the great big fuck off like explodey bomb shotgun looking Archon? Isn't that what Cortege is?
Clean extraction.
Yeah, the old fire makes a napalm grenade. Wait, really? Oh my god, I haven't played. Okay, full disclosure, I don't think I've ever used the Cortege in any meaningful capacity then. 'Cause I did not know that. What am I doing wrong? Why am I only getting 75% damage reduction? Oh yeah, it just occurred to me. Did you know that when you use Necros, you can actually summon 7 Dahayas? Think about it. 1 Necros equals 7 Dahayas. Shield of Shadows, baby.
Bring the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
You think of the Mordecai? Oh, for real.
Stay focused.
I thought I was thinking of the
There's a heavy
Corvus.
unit approaching. Alarms. Data destruction is imminent. You need to hurry. You got it. The data is still
Where am I
intact.
getting this speed from?
We have everything we came for. Get to extract.
Ah! You bastards! I have 2.5k health. I'd say this is a good spot for Necros. Two and a half K health on Necros is kind of what you want to be able to get. Congrats, you're a baby Inaros now? Yeah, a baby Inaros with better summons, allegedly. Alright, I'm tired. I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, don't forget to follow and feel free to sub. If you're watching on YouTube now or in the future, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And until next time,
As you
I'll see you guys later.
foe, so
Thanks for watching.
conquer yourself.
Peace.